Good evening and welcome to another one-on-one webisode. Today we have a very special treat for you guys. Adam Lawson is back in the building for another edition of Lawson Unleashed. Now Adam, I don't think you need any further introduction. I mean, after all, your reputation kind of precedes you. But let's just jump straight into it. The Minnesota Vikings recently waived wide receiver Randy Moss just 3 weeks after trading a third-round pick for him. I know you don't like this. So explain it to me. What is your problem with this move?
Let me tell you what this is. This is Brad Childress saying he does not care about winning. And in any industry, when you do not care about success, you have to be let go.
The Vikings owner actually considered firing
Ziggy Wilf, you made a mistake by not firing him, point blank. You should have fired him and not let Moss get waived. Especially 4 weeks after you give up a third-round pick for him, and what he does on the field, even when he's not catching balls, he's freeing up receivers to get catches. Look at Percy Harvin.
I was about to say, Percy Harvin.
In the 4 games with Moss, 19 catches, 287 yards, 2 scores. You also got Visanthe Shenko making plays. Yes, I know they went 1-3, but that's not because of Moss. That is just because they lost to the Packers, the Pats, and the Jets.
All very good teams.
Yes. A horrible decision, and they go for, and they're 3-5 now. They were 2-5 when they waived them, and a wide open, aka horrible NFC. They could have made the Super Bowl. Now they're going to get to the playoffs maybe, but they're not going to function well. Meanwhile, the Titans, who picked up Moss, are a Super Bowl contender.
They're much better off.
They're a Super Bowl contender. So good job, Brad Childress. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in the National Football League. Good job.
Okay.
Good job.
We got to move along here. All right, as you know, Adam, I'm a very big Phillies fan, and just a few short weeks ago, my Phillies lost a heartbreaking NLCS, just moment of silence, to the San Francisco Giants, who eventually won the championship. Now, I've gone on the record as saying that the Giants were basically a fluke and that there's next to no chance they make the playoffs next year. I know for a fact you disagree with this. What are your thoughts?
Well, they're not in the AL East. With a top 4 rotation of Lincecum, Kane, Jonathan Sanchez, and Madison Bumgarner,
very good.
I could be the 5th starter and it'd still be a productive
Well, you're
rotation.
about as good as Barry Zito.
Yes. They deserve to win it. In the year of the pitcher, they had the best starting rotation, period. Lincecum was 2-0 with a 3.29 ERA in that World Series. Matt Cain allowed no earned runs the entire postseason. And
He was dominant.
Do you know Brian Wilson's a ninja, and he found out he was in a dream?
What does this have to do with baseball?
I'm just saying, he's awesome.
He's a
awesome.
cool guy,
And he got
that, but it doesn't, literally doesn't mean the Giants are better or worse than.
But he goes out and performs. And Edgar Renteria, what can we say? Awesome postseason and capping off
he
the
was
World
clutch,
Series.
but that's the point I was making.
2 home runs.
That's the point I was making. When you're relying on guys like Juan Uribe, Edgar Renteria, I mean, like, these guys are not good baseball players.
We don't know who they're going to sign in free agency. And they have Buster Posey. They're probably going to re-sign Aubrey Huff. Those are 2 good offensive players. And then you build around that. With that pitching staff, you don't have to have the 1927 Yankees offensively. You're going to contend. It was no fluke. They are a great team.
I have them down for 85 wins. We'll see how that turns out.
92.
Occasionally there's tragedy in the sports world. In South Bend, the recent death of a football video assistant, Declan Sullivan, has stunned the campus of Notre Dame. Adam, what should the repercussions of this tragedy be?
Well, full disclosure, I actually work for a college football team, and I've been in the scissor lift one time. And let me just tell you, when you're up there, up high, it doesn't matter if there's wind blowing or not, you will sway back and forth. Now, combine that with the fact that there's 50-mile-per-hour winds, and you're tweeting that you feel for your life.
He did tweet that immediately, like just a few minutes before he fell tragically to his death.
And that they have an indoor practice facility. Brian Kelly has to be fired. And to make things even worse, and this makes me angry as a human being.
He's livid, folks.
They went on to practice for 30 minutes after it fell onto the street. Really. I'm not making that up.
That's just classless.
30 minutes.
I gotta agree with you.
30 minutes. I know you don't know he's dead yet, but you don't go on continuing to practice for 30 minutes. And then he lost to Tulsa or Tulane or somebody whose name starts with a T afterward. I have no respect for Brian Kelly. I didn't when he left Cincinnati before the BCS Bowl game, but now it's just, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is classless.
So if it was up to you, Brian Kelly would be fired.
He'll be fired immediately. He'd be fired right now. Be gone. Be gone.
Just like that pen.
Yes.
Now the baseball season is over, and the offseason has finally begun. Notable free agents are lurking, and they have the opportunity to sign with a different team. Now there's one free agent who, in particular, is kind of giving you, it's shocking you a little bit. Who is it and why?
Let me take my jacket off just so I can, move
Show
my hands around a little bit. Yeah.
The gun show, folks?
Yeah. Now listen, the Yankees want to be a model organization. They have 27 or whatever number of World Series.
World Championships, yes.
The face of their franchise, Derek Jeter, who is their version of Chipper Jones for the American League, he's a free agent. He's a
Braves fan, in case you're wondering.
Yes. he won't set a 6-year deal, and the Yankees print money. I could care less that he had a subpar 2010 season, 1.3 wins above replacement, 30 doubles, 10 homers,
Stats, I like it.
a 340 on-base percentage. I know that, and I know he has limited range despite his Gold Glove. But
With 5 Gold Gloves.
He's Derek Jeter, though. You resign him. It's not like you're going to be a 60-win team if you have him at shortstop. And combined with this fact, he had a solid 2009 season.
He did. That was one of the best seasons of his career.
He had 6.5 wins above replacement that year.
He was an excellent player in
You
2009.
cannot just let him walk away. And how, Steinbrenner, you are not your father at all. You are worse. You're telling the media that it could get messy. Really? Just give him what he wants.
I'll be honest. I don't think the Yankees have to resign him like everyone thinks. They're going to win 90 games next year, with or without Derek Jeter.
Why not, though? He's Derek Jeter.
But everybody says the Yankees need him for marketing. No, if the Yankees churn out 90, 95, 100 wins every season, contend for world
Who are they
championships.
going to get to play shortstop?
I don't know, someone like Juan
Edgar
Uribe.
Renteria?
Edgar Renteria, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Your boy Edgar Renteria.
That's a real
My
step
point
up.
is simply the Yankees are going to make money and be competitive with or without Derek Jeter. While it would certainly be a heartwarming story to see Derek Jeter resign and play out the rest of his career in
We
New
know he's
York.
going to. That's the thing that's stupid about this. You claim to be a model franchise, yet we all know you're going to resign him and Mariano Rivera. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead, give them what they want to. You print money. It doesn't matter what they want. You can give it to them and not worry about it because you're the Yankees.
We got to move on, but real quick, I think the reason that they're hesitant to is because of all the money they tied up in A-Rod through age 42. That's risky. So they don't want to tie themselves down with another long-term contract. Unfortunately, Adam, that's all the time we have for today. But don't forget about all of our other webisodes and look for our one-on-one television show, as well as on the Pendulum, and of course on WSOE every Wednesday nights with myself and Adam Lawson. Until the next installment of Lawson Unleashed, whose side are you on?